Hello everyone, this is Jessica
and Jagg
with Copper Desert Homestead, and today we are sharing everything that we've learned so far about getting a road cut onto raw land. So if you're curious what it takes to get from point A to point B, this is the video for you. Like I said, we are a homesteading channel, but we are in the process of becoming homesteaders. We right now live in the suburbs, but we are taking steps to move out to our 20 acres. So if you're interested in seeing what that process looks like, please subscribe. That is going to be our main focus, along with things like healthy living, parenthood,
home building.
Jagg went out a few weeks ago to meet some road crews and ask a ton of questions. I've given him the side job of filming a YouTube video about it, but it was his first time doing that. So we got a lot of footage like this.
Let's talk about water. I'm new and don't know what to do.
So we decided that we could use some of that as B-roll, and instead we would just do sort of an interview style video.
Yep.
Right?
Sounds good, baby.
Okay. So we got questions because I did put up a post saying that we were working on our road and wanted to know if anyone was interested in that. So we did get some questions. So I'm basically going to ask you those. So we're going to start super simple. When you want to get a road onto your land, what do you Google? Who do you call? What are you looking for?
This is the research part. So you'll want to Google things like road work, dirt work, or local quarries, rock quarries, sand, gravel, that kind of stuff. If you're in a more populated area, you could even go and look at landscapers. A lot of them have small to heavy equipment, and they can do that too. So you also, depending on if you've been to the land or have any aerial footage, you may want to pull up a map software, Google Maps, Apple Maps, or hunting apps, Google Earth, things like that. Then give you information on like property lines, topography of your land, if that's something you need to know about. And that'll come in handy with the next few steps.
And when you call them, what do you like say? What's your opening line?
Introduce yourself, and then describe.
How do you use a phone?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Describe your land and describe what you need. We need a road. It's up a slope or down a slope, or it crosses a water draw.
So there might be a few things you want to include initially before they even come out there, because for some people they might say, oh, we can't do that, and then that just saves everyone the trouble. So like, for example, our road is on sort of a steeper grade.
Yep.
And so that could be a no-go for some people. Okay, and do you want to, or do you need to be there when they're doing the road?
No, you don't have to be, but I recommend you do. This is going to be the access point onto your land. There are a lot of things to consider. The native life between the current road and where you need your road to go to.
Yeah. Or maybe there's a tree or something that you don't want them to move, even if it's smaller. So
yeah,
it's good to just have your input and vision there.
Yeah, the straightest path isn't always the best path. You may want to find things like animal trails. They usually follow the easiest path, as well as paths that don't get muddy, boggy.
And that's kind of what we did. Like, you had an idea for where you thought the road should go, where we wanted it, and then we told them, and the one that we ended up picking, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but he agreed. So it's good to, obviously they have done this more than we have, so if they're in agreement with you and the animals walk that way, it's like, okay,
I did, since he was more experienced with this, I did ask him for his recommendations first, and so he knew where it was. He went out and checked it out, and when we got there, I asked him what his plan was, and it actually matched what I'd been thinking. So
cool. So okay, so on the subject of getting quotes, what's like a good number of people to call?
We ended up contacting 4. It will also depend on your area. The more populated, the more options and opportunities you'll have.
What are the biggest concerns to make sure you get it done right the first time?
So you're going to want to observe and interact with your land. You're going to want to hike around it, walk around it, try to find the patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And then two big things to consider is what's water doing on your land. It's the
Yeah.
giver of life, and then it can destroy things. So you don't want it washing away a big gully in your road every time it rains. And
definitely. What do they do if your road does need to cross an area where there is water flow? Like, obviously there must be a way to mitigate that.
There are tons of strategies. We're going to use a culvert. It's just a big metal pipe that goes in the ground where water flows.
The water goes through the pipe instead of the road.
Yep, it acts as like a mini bridge.
And then I guess the other thing would be building up the road so there's sort of a ditch along the side so the water will follow that path as opposed to
to an area where it can cross or spread out.
Okay, know this. Hold on, let's fix this.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry about that. We're trying to block me from the sun while we do this, and our makeshift curtain fell down, but it's fine. Okay, so we're talking about what are the biggest concerns, and I think we pretty much did good with water. So let's talk about the ground.
Your land. So
the earth.
It'll depend on your area. If you get a lot of moisture, your ground may be softer, absorb it well. Where we are, high desert, very rocky and coarse. There's conglomerate in the land. It's a very hard stone like concrete, hard to break up, and you need jackhammers and things that go boom.
Yeah.
And they are very heavy when they do break apart. They're big slabs. So not having to cut so much on our land was also a concern. And one of the crew we didn't go with, they did want to use some of that as a path to drive on, but it would have been very steep to get to it and wasn't the best plan.
You kind of want to take the path of least resistance if possible. And then I remember you were saying that if you do have hard ground, if you can just put the road on top of that, then that can be ideal.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something you want to go through, see if you can go around. Okay, so first of all, let me say thank you for sticking with us this far. If you're enjoying this, please hit the like button. It is very helpful for us. And stick around to the end because we do have an announcement. The last thing we want to talk about is cost. So give people some numbers if they're wondering what this is going to look like for them.
Most areas, there might be a delivery cost just to get the equipment to you. And then most heavy equipment operators will operate by the hour. Not all. Some may just bid for the job, which they'd give you a total price, what it'll cost. Others charge an hourly rate.
So what's ours?
Yeah, ours is $165 an hour to run a big cap.
And he thought he could, and ours is a little bit of a difficult road, and he still thought thinks he can do it in a day. Mm-hmm. So we were saying that would probably end up being around $1,800.
2 days would still be less than $3,000.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. And I mean, if you have an easier piece of land, like it's just flat off of whatever road's going by it, it would probably be less than that. Also, the initial estimates are free, right, when they meet you out there?
To show up and do the consult is free. It may also depend on your area, how far they have to drive. If you're more rural than we are, they may charge like a travel fee.
Really rural. But for the most part, you can plan to.
And some guys can do a consult over the phone and online using topographical maps and such. But in my experience, it's better to be on the land.
Yeah, better to have more planning and less
work
than more work and less planning.
Yep.
Okay, so that's about it. That was all of our questions. And our announcement is that we're super excited because we did pick our road guy, and we thought it was going to take him way longer to get us a road, but Jagg's actually going tomorrow. So it's early February. It's the second week of February right now. So he's going tomorrow, and we're going to be getting our land. So we'll show you before and after pictures of that process. And yeah, if you have any comments or questions or want to see more content about this, let us know. So
thank you.
That's it. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Bye.